Well, good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Give me a follow on X and like and subscribe to my new channel, Green's House. Now, it happened. I checked the sky for flying pigs. I didn't see any. I wrote an email to Gavin Newsom to see if he could check the temperature in hell to see if it had frozen over, you know, being that he's Satan's personal assistant. And I believe that the reason his voice is so raspy is that when he goes down in hell to work for Satan, the extreme heat has scorched his vocal cords. But Gavin Newsom got back to me and he said that hell is not frozen. So there's no pigs in the sky. Hell has not frozen over, but Kamala, the Ugandan nightmare, the politician who went horizontal for her career to go vertical, our cackler in chief, the border czar, finally went to the border. When you guys heard that, did you pass out? Did you have a heart attack from shock? Was everybody doing their best Fred Sanford when they heard about that? This is the big one, Elizabeth. I'm coming, Elizabeth. When you heard that shit, I couldn't believe it. Now, of course, those of us with enough neurons firing in our brain know that this was nothing more than a photo op. This is nothing more than the 11th hour, their last ditch effort to get to look tough on the border long enough to get in office. When she went down there, she said, if somebody doesn't come through a legal point of entry, they will be barred from receiving asylum. What does that mean? Barred from receiving asylum. So they're not going to be deported. They just won't get their asylum diploma to hang on the wall. You're still going to release them into the interior of the United States, unmonitored and unburdened by what has been, but they won't get asylum. They won't get their gold asylum sticker on their chest. What does asylum mean? If you're getting everything that a legal citizen gets and then some, then who gives a shit about getting asylum if you already have everything? That's like somebody letting you into an exclusive country club. You can use the spa. You can go to the restaurant. You can get shit at the pro shop. You can hit as many holes of golf as you want. Free club rentals if you need it. Free golf cart rentals. You've been enjoying this for 5 years, and then somebody comes up to you and says, hey, here's your official member card. What's that card going to mean to you? Absolutely nothing, because you've already been enjoying the amenities of the country club, aka United States of America. So what do you give a shit about some asylum title? Nothing. It's nonsense. It's gibberish. As my 4th grade teacher would say, Mrs. Paget, it's gobbledygook. It's a bunch of nothing, but we already know that Kamala Harris is the human salad shooter. Load her brain. There's plenty of room up there. The people who control her mouth and her beliefs this week, load her brain and she will spit out the most incomprehensible, hard to understand, hard to follow, what does that even mean nonsense you've ever heard in your life. She went to the border. Oh, shit. And now she says now, if she gets back in office, she's going to be tough on fentanyl. Despite the fact that 100,000 people a year die from that shit, I'm glad that she's getting started 3+ years in. She talked about Trump not addressing the need for more judges to process these asylum cases. Well, how about we just take away the reason to have asylum cases, like closing the border or remain in Mexico, process that bullshit over there. And if that was a problem, if it's something you believe Trump didn't take care of, well, why didn't you. And of course, right on cue, we had an appearance from the Kamala bot 3000. That's what I call her when she repeats the same bullshit talking point platitudes that she always does. And this time it was one of her greatest hits. The prosecution of transnational, oh my God. Are Kamala Harris voters stupid or willfully ignorant? Because you know you're sitting there, some of them, they can't all be crazy, blue-haired, granola-headed dirt fuckers. You know you're sitting there watching her like, damn, that's our girl? That's the one they installed? That's the person that they replaced Sloppy Joe with when they ripped the presidency from his cold, not dead yet fingers? Remember in Young Frankenstein, where they were trying to take the book out of the hands of Dr. Frankenstein's corpse and he wouldn't let go? That was Sloppy Joe holding on to the Democratic nomination, and they finally yanked it from his gnarled, liver-spotted fingers. They said, you can have the Democratic nomination or a fresh bowl of warm butterscotch pudding with some 6-year-old hair sprinkled on top. You know Sloppy Joe can't resist that. That's his favorite dessert. So they install her, and this is your girl. This is who you have. But Kamala Bot 3000 showed up right on time. Good afternoon. I am the Kamala Bot 3000. And I have experience prosecuting transnational criminal organizations. It is a long-standing priority for me since I was Attorney General for a border state. And if elected, I will, please charge my battery. I am running low. Give me box wine and Zoloft. That was Kamala Bot. That same old bullshit about I'm the only candidate who's prosecuted transnational criminal organizations and the trafficking of drugs, guns, and human beings. We know, Kamala, because that's all you say. Oh. And I gotta do a video about, she sat down with these two fake-ass podcasters, Matt Barnes, and what's his name, Steven Jackson, two BLM, Trump is racist, TDS, getting pegged 3 times a week, sissy boys you've ever seen in your life. She sat down with them for an interview and they were uncomfortable. Oh, the cackler is back. She was cackling her ass off. I bet all the dogs within 5 miles, people yelling out their window, shut up! Because they heard a fucking hyena. Gog, 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 gog. Oh, it's bad. Shout out to my man Oliver Mack. I saw it on his Instagram page, at Right Wing Angel. If you're not following him on Instagram, then what the fuck you doing on Instagram? Also, shout out to Mike. I bumped into him out in the world. He's a fan of mine. He came up and said, what's up? I appreciate that, Mike. Good looking out. A hard-working American who sees through the bullshit. And I think a lot of Kamala supporters also do. But what are you going to do? If somebody's talking about Trump, I'm voting for Trump. What are you going to say? I'm voting for Kamala? All they have to do is ask you why. And the conversation is over because you can't think of one thing. Oh, man. I couldn't believe it. Kamala took her. She probably had the coyotes in the desert going crazy. Gog, 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 gog. That was a bunch of bullshit. That was the first time you've been down there since you've been Madam Vice President. You don't give a shit about that border, and she might as well go down there right now. The damage is done. The 425,000 convicted criminals from south of the border are here. The 15,000 rapists, the 13,000 convicted murderers. Some with thousands of them with criminal cases still pending. They're already here. So go ahead and go to the border. Give your bullshit speech. Get your damn photo op. Why not? It's already done. The horse is out of the barn, but that's why we need to elect Trump, because he's going to catch that horse and turn it into Elmer's glue. Meet me in the comments. What say you, people? But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Give me a follow on X at @green_Jericho, and like and subscribe to my new channel, Green's House. I am Jericho Green, and man, I'm out.